Hi, welcome to Your Spectacular Life with Life and Success Coach Jody Whites. Now today we are going to talk about deepening your well-being and happiness. And essentially, I know we all want to be happy, and that's such an overused word, especially in advertising. But I'm going to be bringing out some real-life ways in which you can invite more happiness into your life. And that means being more productive and building meaningful relationships with those around us. Also, happiness is a difficult thing to pin down, and by focusing on it too intensely, we tend to be unfulfilled. So we're going to take this topic kind of with full attention, but I want your creative juices flowing on this. I'm going to be using a great model that I use in my practice, and it's called the PERMA model. It's an acronym that we'll explain in just a moment. And positive psychologist Martin Seligman came out with a book called Flourish in 2011, and we'll be using some of those concepts. I liked it so much, I thought I had to share it with you. So essentially, I'm going to talk about the acronym and we'll go back and fill that out a little bit. The first is positive emotion, that's the P. And for us to experience well-being, we need positive emotions in our life. Positive emotions of peacefulness, gratitude, satisfaction, pleasure, hope, curiosity, and even love falls into that area. Now, other elements are just as important, but this is a pretty important one as well. Next is engagement. That's the E. And that's when we're truly engaged in our job, in tasks, in situation, and experiences, we're in a state of flow. Time seems to stop, and we lose kind of track of time. And the more we experience this type of thing, the more we're experiencing more happiness and engagement. The next is P again, and that's positive relationships. And again, that's the R, not the P. And as humans, we're just social beings, and we need people around us so that we can have meaning and have positive, fulfilling relationships with others, and they help to bring up our happiness and well-being. M next is for meaning, and that comes from serving a cause that is bigger than ourselves, whether it's in our community or volunteer work or in a church or just with people who are less fortunate than us. Meaning can really be fully satisfying. Next is accomplishments, and this is the last one, that's the A, and we essentially strive in our lives of some way to master a skill or valuable goal, and when we master these, it's important because that gives us a sense of well-being about ourselves. So next I'm going to be talking about using the PERMA model. We're going to flesh out these ideas with more detail. And essentially, the first one is positive emotions, going back to that P. And I know we can't be happy all the time, but we do need to make sure that we experience enough positive emotions, such as pleasure, happiness, contentment, peace, joy, and even inspiration, all these things in our life to make us have a high quotient of positive emotions. And if you're not experiencing it, you need to think about why. You know, in your career, are you using your talents and strengths? Are you engaged with the people around you? Take a moment to identify the people and things that give you pleasure. For example, if you love being outdoors and surrounded by nature, where working in an office may not be the best place to be, you may want to think about shifting or spending more time in nature. The aim here is to uplift your positive emotions and actually get more of those in your life to ensure that you're actually experiencing more of those than negative emotions. The next is E, which is engagement. And this is things like feeling engaged in your career, or are you feeling engaged in hobbies that you love, or that help you slip into that flow state that I mentioned earlier. You can increase your engagement by minimizing distractions and also identifying things that help you create. Maybe it's an art project or a book, or just learning, taking classes at a college or distance learning on your computer. Those will help build that engagement in your life. And you can look at some of your interests. Do you have enough time for personal growth in your life? You can also look at, again, getting a hobby or increasing this physical activity and being engaged in that. These activities will help you feel more happy and engaged by doing them day in and day out. So let's talk a little more about positive relationships. These can be with anyone. It can be a partner, it can be friends, it can be family, neighbors, colleagues. Do you have enough of these in your life to tip the balance of a deeper, happy existence? Now, you probably spend most of your waking hours at work, so it's important to balance that with a social life and making sure that perhaps on the weekends you schedule in some time with family and friends to enjoy yourself, to maybe share hobbies, to maybe go out on hikes with. Now, it's important to understand the relationships in your life, whether or not they're positive and supportive. Because we know that sometimes people can lift us up and sometimes people can bring us down. Now, I would ask the why question and actually check into your intuition to feel whether or not those are actually helping you in life or not. And relationships will also take time to develop. That's why it's worth it, taking time to develop those positive relationships. So make sure you book in those times to spend with the people you enjoy and who are also positive for you. Moving on to meaning, let's talk about that a little more. Do you feel like your life has meaning? Do you feel like you're connected with something bigger than yourself? Now, most of us believe that, when we're working, we are working for a greater purpose. And this will be great. Perhaps the work you do will bring you to that greater purpose at the same time. But I'd also like to invite going outside of the box of just job satisfaction and inviting doing something different for people who may need that help. And it's just important to look at that as well as the meaning in your personal life, like how you spend certain activities with these friends or family members. What does your volunteering look like? How much kindness can you give to others to build them up? Can you be a mentor or a model? Can you think about doing positive things for other people that will greatly be hugely satisfying for your life? Now, the last step is A, of accomplishments. We all know that it feels great to accomplish things in our life, to be acknowledged for those accomplishments. But it's very interesting in making sure that we are accomplishing those things, even small little things. And if we're not, we may not be living up to our own expectations and living a full life. I love setting out goals and step by step, milestone by milestone, accomplishing that. So perhaps you need to think about whether you're devoting enough time to accomplishing your dreams, whether you're pushing yourself enough, whether you're on track or getting distracted with other things in accomplishing those goals. Now, if you need help in accomplishing dreams and goals, or even a roadmap to accomplish them, please contact me. I would very much love to help you get on track and do the things that you love by accomplishing them. Now, by focusing on all these 5 elements, we can flourish in our lives and deepen our lives and bring in more happiness and well-being. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation. If you liked it, please like this page, leave a comment, and also subscribe to my channel. You'll find also more information and tips at Your Spectacular Life and jodywhitescoaching.com. Thanks so much for joining me today. I sincerely hope you are getting your spectacular life.